Hey guys, welcome back to the North American Summer 2014 Challenger Series Round of 10 play-in. 10 teams entered, 1 is left so far. Only 5 total will continue on their quest for an LCS berth. Our second elimination game is Area of Effect versus Necrophantasia, who beat Team 8 in a huge upset yesterday.
And so far, that's been the biggest upset of the tournament. Team 8 were actually favorites to take the entire thing. They had a great performance, taking out 1 game from LMQ. The only team to take a game off of them throughout the entire Challenger Series last time until the finals where they went against Cloud9 Tempest. So they were the ones who showed the crack in the armor against LMQ. And so Team 8, they actually got beaten because of their draft phase, because Necrophantasia brings a lot of different things to the ban phase and pick phase.
Yeah,
I want to touch on here. They have Yoshi in the top lane. They have a Zingy in the jungle. They have Kojo in the mid lane. They have Virus and Maria, formerly Yuno, in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
So Yuno plays Thresh. 355 games. Second most played is Karma, 45 games. Pretty big difference there. Then you have Kojo in the mid lane who plays Nidalee, has about 140 games on that, and then his Syndra is about 30. Then you have a Zingy who's got 380 jungle Karthus games. Very high up there. And then his next is like Pantheon and then Fiddlesticks with 180, which is what he used to take out Team 8.
And a Mumu.
Yeah, that's true. And
that's going to be an AP Mumu, by the way.
It is. A Zingy stacks on the mages there. And their top laner, Yoshi. You may know him as only Rengar. And he lives up to his name. He has 181 Rengar games. And his next most played is Jax with 23. Big difference between.
I just keep doing this gesture of like,
well, that's
up
the thing,
here
though,
and then everything else.
Because when you play against a team like this, what do you ban? You're like, Rengar. Do I ban Karthus?
Thresh, probably.
Thresh, Nidalee? Because those were the bans that Team 8 brought out.
Sure.
They brought out Rengar, Thresh, and
Nidalee?
Nidalee, yes.
Yeah.
They left Soraka open, which is what they paid for.
Sure.
And they got what they paid for, too.
Sure.
Because Soraka ended up going crazy that game. He ended up having a lot of assists, but it was really Yoshi in the top lane who they banned out the Rengar, so he fell back on Shyvana. To see what he does with that. I think most likely, if you do your research on only Rengar just by looking at his name, you're probably gonna
feel like you'd know the bans right at the start.
He still plays Rengar.
Of course he does.
Despite the changes, he's like, I love this champion. It's an amazing champion, and he does really good work on it too. He always buys like a Yumu's Ghostblade, and he just goes ham.
You'd be lying if you said you didn't like playing the champion.
Yeah. Oh.
He's got a lot of pride in that.
That one like took me a second. I was like, yeah. It hurt.
All right.
Lion, huh?
Let's talk about Area of Effect then.
Actually, I wanted to touch on one more thing.
Oh, sorry.
Funny fact.
I apologize.
The odd one is called the General because he had a rivalry with the Master Tactician Zingy.
Admiral Zingy, right?
Yes. Admiral Zingy, the Master Tactician in the jungle. So Zingy is now going after the odd one, but he's taking out family on the way. He got Maple Street out of the way. Brothers are not spared in this.
He's not even going to fight odd one. Odd one's not playing
He's going to fight it, but he's the coach now. And speaking of coaching, we have elements on Area of Effect as the support. Former coach for Coast, former player for Curse and CLG. And we're going to see what he brings to this lineup and what he can do in terms of shot calling with Evan RL at his side.
True. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. We're going to see what happens to these guys. We are in a champ select. Kha'Zix banned away from Pat. And again, pretty much any conventional jungle ban won't hit a Zingy's champ pool. So the Fiddlesticks ban will. But I want to see, like, does Karthus get through? He's going to play it because that'll be fun.
Yeah, his jungle
see these
Karthus.
single lay waste Baron steals.
Yeah, there's some highlight reels out there. And so here, Area Effect, if their last ban isn't Rengar, Necrophantasia will most likely pick that up first rotation for themselves. Yeah. Actually, no, they could just leave it because it's not even a contested pick. Just leave
Watch it like grab it anyway.
Yeah.
Surprise!
So Necrophantasia actually ban out their own Soraka because they are purple side. It's first pick worthy on 4.6 with the Grievous Wounds removal on heal. So it's very, very potent. And something here is Pat, formerly from Curse Academy, up against the Zingy in the jungle. Pat loves Lee Sin. If he's allowed to get Lee Sin, it's very good against the Zingy's champion pool. If he picks a Karthus, you can just go ahead and Dragon's Rage him out of the fight and then pick him off on the side. Fiddlesticks, it's a little harder to get to him, but the fact that you play Lee Sin means you innately get more vision because you have that Sight Stone. So you can keep more tabs on Fiddlesticks off on the sides and it'll disallow his flanking.
Well, guess what bans happened? No Rengar ban, no Karthus ban. Nidalee first pick there. So
that's a good strat.
That's a good first pick. It's a good first pick. It puts some pressure on the mid lane. Kassadin, Soraka, Nidalee now all removed from Kujo's champ pool. He's got plenty to back up for. Karma, Xerath, Ziggs, Ori, like all stuff he plays, plenty of, and all strong champions. But it does mean only Rengar's Rengar, a Zingy's Karthus, and a Mumu. I hope he doesn't play something standard like Pantheon or Lee Sin. I'd just be sad. That would just be not living up to the hype.
The only reason they would take Lee Sin is to take it away from Pat. I don't know how great of a decision that is to just pick it because the other person plays it. But in this fact, Area of Effect, they did just that. They picked the Nidalee because that's what Kojo plays all of the time.
Yeah.
It was banned against him when they played against Team 8. It's first pick worthy here for Kojo. He can do a lot with that. And they decided that Area of Effect, you know what? That's the call. They're going to go with the Nidalee. They're going to start creating what could be a poke comp with some follow-up.
There's a lot of ways that can actually play. It's interesting. Like, normally when we saw like Nidalee, it was like, oh, it's a poke comp. All right. But people have gotten so good at the champion, they can play it differently. There's different ways to run the composition. So I do want to see how it does pan out. I agree with you there. Lulu picked up Thresh. Sorry, Thresh what? Twitch as well.
It's green.
Yeah, it's green. It smells bad. It must be similar.
So that's the exact same bottom lane that Virus and Maria ended up using against Maple Street and Dodo.
Yeah.
Because when the Thresh is banned out, that is the fallback there for Maria.
Yeah, for her.
And she'll be able to support the Twitch. You can speed him up. You can fire glitter lances off of him. It's fine. You can slow people down. Just a very, very potent support there. That's really a supporty support.
Yeah. One thing I'm actually very pleased at, by the way, is something I have difficulty casting when it's a female champion with a male player, and I like, Morgana, that's going to be really good for him. And I'm like, wait, but now I just have, like, genders line up. Such a useful thing. I appreciate that, considering I think most competitive picks tend to be female.
So far, we have an all-girl team here, Twitch.
Twitch notwithstanding.
He's hiding.
Yeah. Well, on the left side, though, AOE is going for the all-female team.
Yeah.
Elise comes in for Pat, though, so the Kha'Zix ban doesn't mean too much for him. Still gets to play Elise. Lee Sin's still available if Zingy wants it. Morgana support going to be grabbed to fight this, presumably Lulu support. They should be able to know that Area of Effect.
It's not really in Kojo's champion pool, and it's really Maria's go-to afterwards.
Yeah. There's always the chance that you have to open
and the fact that, yeah, it's true. But Morgana's taken away, so the only thing really left would be Karma that Maria plays.
Oh,
you're so, oh my,
Pantheon
no,
gets locked in for a Zingy. No Kha'Zix at all. Pantheon, though, his number 2, 200 games played this season. Not exactly sad about that.
Yeah.
Twisted Fate does come through in the mid, so TF versus Nid is going to be the matchup.
Here's the thing, is they have so much pressure now. Pantheon ultimate, TF ultimate, Twitch can be anywhere if he leaves the lane, and basically Schrodinger's Twitch again.
Yep.
And if that last pick is Rengar, he will come out of stealth on top of you in the middle of the fight. There is so much you have to keep tabs on here for this team of Necrophantasia.
That'll be fun. I want to see if that happens here. Something to keep in mind as well, we're kind of looking at Yoshi's champ pool, right? Rengar, Jax, Ryze, Shyvana. And that gets petering down really fastly. Shyvana gets grabbed, Jax is already banned. You start lowering the number of opportunities. It isn't Rengar. Yeah, I mean, sure, but again, if you look back, right, when the Tryndamere was the predicted pick, they said, okay, go Blade of the Ruined King, tank Shyvana, right? No Sunfire, no Spectre's Cowl, get a Randuin's, get a Thornmail, and fight that guy and push him away, and that worked. The prediction of Trynd. So there's a prediction here against the Rengar, and AOE knows how to beat it. Right? They wait for the end to look at the top lane pick, make sure nothing else is available, go for Shyvana, and we'll see if it's going to work.
AOE has a pretty good AOE team here, aside from the Nidalee, who will set up fights with the poke, and everything else is pretty much pretty kosher there. Yeah, like it.
There it is.
There it is. It's locked in. They have so much pressure. I would not want to fight against this team that Necrophantasia has.
As an AD carry, I would just cry.
Yeah, especially if I was in solo queue, I'd be like, if I get fed, I'm the main target every fight.
Yeah. This is actually why I like that they picked both Morgana and Corki. Yes, Lucian's on the table, but he's still a pretty escapable AD carry. He can get away with Valkyrie pretty nicely, and he can contribute far away from fights with rockets. So as far as like AD carries that work against this type of team, what are the best choices? Yeah. And you got Morgana to Black Shield TF ganks and Pantheon ganks, neither of which easily break Black Shield.
That's true. Well, Pantheon ganks have a lot of magic damage on it. And max rank, it's 1,000 magic damage at the center. Yeah. So there's two things here I want to talk about, one on each team. AOE. They have the Morgana and Elise combo. That's the 6-second cooldown cocoon, 2-second duration. 6.6 second binding, 3-second duration. You can chain those back together for so much CC. Cloud9 started bringing that one out with the cooldown reduction on Elise. Then the team fighting here that Necrophantasia had for themselves, you're up against the Nidalee. Nidalee is countered by Hard Engage.
Yeah.
They have so much Hard Engage, it is ridiculous. I don't think I've seen more in an entire team in my life. Yeah. They have a Rengar who can just pop up out of nowhere on top of you. They have the Twitch, who, you know, if he doesn't walk on
nowhere on top of you,
if he doesn't have a trap around, he's pretty good. Yeah. Then you have the TF and Pantheon who are just going to be on top of you no matter what.
It's going to be pretty scary. I do not look forward to fighting against this comp, but thankfully I don't have to. It's going to be up to area of effect, and can they do it? Here we go. The Wolf's Claw, by the way, a bit of a misnomer, considering he's got cat paws this time at level 6. It's okay.
The Cougar Paws.
One thing to point out, by the way, Pat opened up with a pink ward in his opening build. Elise is one of those safe jungles that doesn't need all the potions in order to jungle properly, but early pink ward, we'll see what they can do with that.
Yeah, and it looks like they're all heading up towards that top lane. Nobody's even going down bottom. Elements calling this one out here with the ward. Oh, there's the... Ooh, you saw that. Saw the little glimmer there.
All right, they're aware of one of the early wards.
Oh,
ooh, they're looking around.
He's like, I got an itching, and there it is. It hits.
Elements gets 5 gold. He knows about it. They could.
Huh?
What? Pat opened Cocoon.
So they didn't know who was in there, but there's a 100% guarantee he knew that that hit. 1, he got the gold from Spell Thieves, which pops up on you. 2, he heard the sound. 3, he saw that the animation didn't continue. He's like, it hit something. There's something in there. I don't know how many people, but they don't follow up on it.
Then why learn Cocoon? That's the weird thing to me.
Yeah.
That felt like a really bad.
It's going to slow his jungle down.
You just don't do that. Like that. I think even if you get the catch, okay, Cocoon again looks for the wall, does get Yoshi out of there, but of course now all of AOE has been seen. Will they get a ward down? Will they use this pink ward they got to do anything? Right now, no.
I wonder what the call is here. Because right now it currently looks like they're just going to 4-man the top lane and try to make it so that Yoshi doesn't get anything. But Yoshi is responding by going middle to his jungle. And are they going to... I'm not quite sure what he... Yeah, he's just going to go to the bottom lane now.
Yeah, okay. So it's
he's
going to be...
for the lane swap.
Yeah, he knows he can't go top jungle, so his team's already down to the bottom side. You've got TP Rengar in the first place, so being bottom jungle is fine. Izangi is going to grab the opposing red buff really early. Pat gets help to get his blue. Of course, still with no damaging abilities for the jungle. It's going to be a lot of help from Shyvana to get rid of this.
And now the way this is lining up currently... I'm looking at the experience here. Yoshi, I don't know if he'd actually... He's going to have to show up for that bottom push, but he won't be level 2 yet. He's going to be a little late.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
Especially in comparison to Pat and Chump John.
All right, late to the party. Izangi, so basically only 2 total camps got cleared when you normally see 3 go down, so less total XP grabbed by the team. And they're going to show up for the 4-man push, but with 1 level less than they would expect. And here we go.
Maria actually hits level 2 before Virus does. So they get there about the same time. 1 extra ability, though, which is going to give them the Skittering Frenzy for the extra attack speed, which will be what they need to take this turret down at about the same time.
All right, well, there we go. Rengar definitely has plenty of damage in this one, and it's going to be the turret falling. 3:06 into the game is turret number 1. Looks like we're going to be about 5 seconds behind for the top lane turret. The area of effect spells from Corki, Morgana, etc. Pretty good at that one. They're going to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, Rengar pushing turrets. Never seen that one before.
The Q no longer gives attack speed on turrets, though.
Yes, it does not.
You have to hit minions for it.
Yep, which will be right there next to him. The back and forth here, the Wolf's Claw is actually coming out on top in the overall because he has the mana advantage. I don't even know if there's enough for a blue card at this point for Kojo.
There we go.
Here comes the denial. We'll have to watch this little bit of micro here and see what they decide to do. They're just going to take it flat out, and they are.
All right. Well, if they shove the next wave, though, in pretty hard, they can still make that reset.
Ooh, that's perfect. That's actually the perfect spot you want to be in. All right. And he gets 1 down, and now it'll start pushing.
Yeah, and notice that Evan goes away from the wave. He doesn't actually farm it the rest of the time. He just recalls and knows it's going to pull in towards his team. Yoshi is already there on Rengar, ready to take some of this farm. And we'll see now how the teams can play up to the lane pushes. Pat, smart choice, grabs the opposing red buff. That's a 2-buff start for him. And on the other side of the map, the blue buff should be easy to grab for Izangi.
And the gold advantage here is just from the gold even right now, which is a little surprising considering Elements had Spell Thief's Blade, Spell Thief's Edge. Yep. A little bit extra. There's the gank. Oh, gets him. Oh, the binding. There it is.
Well, big damage to Kojo. Exhaust used to slow him down. Pat puts the Q onto Maria. Goes for the damage. Wolf's Claw does land the final auto attack. Takes the kill up right there. First blood. AOE.
It's the Cocoon binding. It doesn't become a skill shot at that point to land your binding. It becomes, can I actually click this in time? No skill involved.
Are there minions in the way?
Yes.
It's the assessment. All right.
So potent. It's so difficult to deal with. And the fact that he's so immobile on that Twisted Fate, he blew both of his summoner spells, too. But so did the Wolf's Claw. So when they get back to lane, which looks like their lane's just going to be Occupado now by everybody else.
All right, pink ward goes down to the bottom side, over near the dragon. That's going to be something that AOE will be able to watch for. 500 gold lead, about what you expect from First Blood. The game's going to slow down a little bit. Okay, top lane pushed in. Actually, this time around, of course, the TP. So area of effect, less aware of that push. Had to teleport their Shyvana. No one else is ready to take that.
It's not the situation that you want to be in where you use your teleport and give the other team the advantage. Yoshi is still in the bush, though. And the rest of the team is around that dragon area.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you've got until 8.5 minutes that teleport is down. NF should know that timer. They know they can bring Rengar down when they want to force a 5v4. Now, it's too early to 5v4 in front of Dragon. You take too much damage doing it. Elements finds Maria, though. Good damage there. 15 gold picked up for both these guys, but there comes a bit of pain.
Big level advantage here for Chump John. He's 6 over Yoshi's 4, so Yoshi's getting zoned out. So the fact that he got that giant wave bottom and then TP top gave him an advantage.
Yeah, that actually could have been the specific choice. I don't want to actually say that it was AOE making a mistake. If the goal was to make Shyvana win the 1v1, he got both soul lanes of farm.
Well, then they zoned him off the dragon area there.
Yeah.
Too. So AOE actually calling that one really big.
Yeah, that was actually incredibly well played. That played out much better than I thought it would. So good stuff there. Maria getting the last hit on the cannon minion there. Didn't go spell piece yet. It's a rushed sight stone. So we'll see if the gold, the lack of gold generation, but extra wards does anything for these guys. We'll see. Standard 2-on-2 on this one. Looks like neither one got gigantic leads anywhere. It's going to be Vamp Scepter for both AD carries, and about 800 gold worth of items for both supports.
No globals up just yet. They will be around the time that the buffs spawn.
They're going for this fight, though. Virus putting some pretty heavy damage on Expunge used as well. Evan RL dropped very, very low. Stun on a Kojo. Javelin's going to land. Once again, easy to land when someone stuns for you. We're seeing AOE start to kind of control this game.
Yep, Zingi's getting invaded on here.
At level 5 versus level 4, the smite is available for the Elise. Doesn't smite early or at the right time, and Zingi gets with an auto attack.
The Pantheon crit. The
Yeah, I don't think he even had to. He just autoed it once.
It was a crit, though.
Okay.
He didn't have to.
No.
But he had no choice.
But he overkilled it.
He had to. Once he levels up his E,
That's
he has
true.
to when it's that low. And he's going back for this 2 now.
All right, stun used. Pat out of mana, but goes for the battle. Looks pretty good for this one. TF
Oh,
comes
it's a
in.
bait.
All right, there's the repel, but there's the flash engagement.
Oh!
They find it, and Kojo, he's got to get away.
There's a backfire there. Yoshi, not level 6 just yet. He can't just flank into that fight. Chump John, look at his experience. He's 7. He's about to be 8. There it is.
And Yoshi doesn't have his ultimate available yet.
3 levels up over Yoshi.
That played out really well. They invaded the red buff, basically, or even just the top jungle in general, knowing how much more powerful the top laner was. It completely paid off.
That's the type of little advantage that you have to look to push and be conscious of. But now Virus coming in from the side, no ultimate there for him, and the skill shots come out just to be like, oh, we know you're there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome. And you got to remember as well, like, you can't camp jungle until you know those camps are up as well, which requires either ward control or timing the enemy jungler's pattern to know there's even anything to do there. That was awesomely well played by AOE.
It's that Coach Elements coming up.
There you go, man. Coachmans did it.
Elements was sitting there as the coach, and he said, put me in, coach. So he put himself in.
There you go.
And look at how it's doing. I mean, it's so difficult to call from the sidelines because you actually can't talk to your players. You're sitting there going, wow, I wish they had done this. Yeah. And now he's in there just going, hey, do this, do that.
There you go.
And Elements back on the scene.
See what these guys can do now with the roster. 13 to almost 12,000 gold, so 1,300 gold difference in this one. Virus still camping under his turret, trying to get what farm he can. He's actually doing really well in CS, but he's the guy getting pushed in regardless. AOE wanting to keep all the lanes aggressive and make plays in the enemy jungle as best they can. Again, a lot of the time factoring off the Shyvana. Yoshi going to rotate around the map, just kind of showing up mid.
He's finally 7. He's got a big minion wave for himself. He's just roaming straight down there, so he doesn't have to use his teleport to actually be a part of this fight. The Wolf Claw takes some free damage there.
Now the Dragon got started. Yoshi takes some really big hits. Has to flash away, gets exhausted. Elements puts the ward down. They're still trying for this one. TP in from Chump. Dragon is low, and it's going to be AOE taking the Dragon with a Corki auto attack. And again, binding lands. Shyvana goes in. Virus falls. AOE making better choices.
Much better choices in the overall. They're going to get this blue, too, and they are getting this game in their favor very, very quickly with small leads that just, they show up to a fight and they start snowballing.
Yeah, it's the right choice every time. Necrophantasia, they try to make the plays, When TF tried to sort of counter-gank the jungle invade, Shyvana was already there. They went for the dragon, but guess what? Chumpjohn's TP was up finally, because it's been past 8.5 minutes, and it was the wrong call. Again, they got jumped on, and the kill went through.
And the fact that he's 2 levels up, Chumpjohn is, over Yoshi, is huge. Basically, every time Shyvana levels up, you put a Doran's Blade of health in her inventory, and you put almost like half a longsword. So that basically, you're looking at there, just by the 2 levels, he has a longsword. And
you just do it in terms of Doran's Blades. Those give AD carry. Those give damage anyway. He's up 2 Doran's Blades by being 2 levels up.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 8. I think it's more like 5 base damage or something.
Well, yeah, but your spells do more damage.
That's true. That's true.
There's some way to do the Doran's Blade conversion.
Anyway, it doesn't give HP though.
It gives you HP regen per level.
That's true.
Just by leveling up. The new factor of leveling up is how many Doran's Blades is it worth? Or Doran's Rings in the case of mages. How much AP would it take to boost your base damages? It's actually not that bad of a measurement.
No, it's not.
For what it's worth, it's not completely horrible.
I'm glad you approve.
Of my own idea. Pat,
I used the measurement.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Pat, Yoshi going in half HP. Yeah,
Still worth, though, because you push him out of the lane, and now you know he can't be middle, and now you start to siege up. They get themselves a turret. Up 3-2. They haven't even taken that bottom tier 1 turret, which will most likely be in their sights next. Twitch
was spotted bottom as well, so AOE knows they have the numbers lead if they want it. Zingy clears away the rest of that blue buff. It was stolen not too long ago. Poke attempted for elements doesn't land. That one's going to hit, though. Wolf's Claw and FNRL doing some good stuff. Cocoon going to miss.
You have to dodge so much. You have to dodge a Cocoon. You have to dodge a Shyvana.
It's hard to dodge Shyvana.
You have to dodge Nidalee Spears, Dark Bindings, and Corki Rockets. Everybody has something you have to dodge.
Those are pretty much hitting, though. Kojo down to half HP right now. Doesn't even have his Athene's Unholy Grail finished yet. It doesn't even matter right there. Another wave. Looks like it'll be pushed in, AOE.
Necrophantation didn't get to use their pick comp.
Not at all.
At all. That's what you want from a Pantheon Twisted Fate. You want to go gank bottom, have a 4-on-2. But here's the engage. The turret's going to be gone by the time he lands.
The temp turret goes down. Yoshi will join the fight. Big burst comes in. Down goes 2. The engage comes in. Gigantic Morgana ulti. This one around 2 for 2 so far. Shyvana going big. Yoshi in the backline finds a 3rd. Now Maria getting attacked. A 2 versus 2, but that will be a dead Lulu.
With double buffs.
Yeah.
Ooh, triple kill
scary champs
for Chumpjohn right there. There was the engage, the hard engage onto DeWolf's Claw. Didn't get to use his flash, didn't get to use his heal, and now they're going to go push these waves out, and that's their reward for winning that fight. We're going to look at it here. Watch how quickly DeWolf's Claw gets destroyed. Boom, match damage. Oh, he's gone. Now Pat, knocked up, destroyed. Yoshi has that extra durability in the slow, but he swaps from FNRL onto elements here, and the support was the main target, which is not the person you want to be on top of, especially Morgana, who doesn't do a whole lot once her abilities are on cooldown. And they have really long cooldowns, especially this early in the game with no cooldown reduction.
Yep. You got the black shield, didn't even matter.
Yeah, and Chumpjohn just basically tanked his way through all of that with the level advantage that he had, and now the item advantage.
Yeah, so that was pretty glorious. Sunfire Cape done. It's also worth pointing out, AOE stayed for the turret. Like, they could see the Pantheon team and were like, no, get the turret first. And I think they were kind of fortunate to turn that fight around.
Yeah,
like, if they weren't ahead in gold, I feel like that would have been a horrible fight.
If that was even, yes. The fact that DeWolf's Claw got destroyed before he used any of his summoner spells, even if he had flashed just out of the range, would have been enough. And the Black Shield was a little bit late. So he did get stunned, but at the same time, the hardest CC is you being dead.
And that happened regardless.
Yeah.
The damage.
Morgana's shield will not stop that one.
Unlikely. All right, so resetting the lanes here. Corki, Morgana back to the bottom side. Bottom outer turret still available for this team if they want it. AOE have simply taken tier 1 and tier 2, both mid and top. Virus Kojo pushing down. This is going to be actually something that these guys might have to respond to because it will take a bit of damage here.
Yeah, numbers advantage there in the mid lane for Necrophantation. Whereas AOE, they decide they want that bottom lane. They want that tier 2, their tier 1. That's actually still right for the taking.
Meanwhile, showing up
top though, Yoshi now has his Tiamat completed, so we can push waves a little faster. But Chumpjohn is just so powerful, you can't duel him. So as soon as he shows up to the lane, you're like, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I killed all those little guys. Didn't mean it.
Well, Varus pops his ulti. Does not find any picks in this one. Pink ward already down defensively for NF when they want to get their blue buff back up. Should be very soon, I believe. Yoshi clearing away these guys without too much effort. It is worth pointing out as well, Chumpjohn is getting some magic resist now. He actually got the Spectre's Cowl, so he'll be forced the flash away from Zingy, though. Binding's not quite going to land. But
flash for the wolf.
Squishier against Rengar.
Oh, Virus looks like he wants a piece of this. No.
There's almost no way. I think they need another turret bait. They're down 5,000 gold.
Yeah, you have to get them underneath this turret. That worked out perfectly last time, especially when you hard engage on the backline. Because otherwise, if they just go straight into it, the Wolf's Claw will just kite backwards and throw spears the entire time. Yeah. Even if you win the fight, you won't win the war.
True. All right, well, Zingy goes for the ulti. They're looking for this tier 2 right there. They're going in pretty hard. Rengar already ulted, goes in, does not quite find the damage he needs. Elements gets a stun there as well. Pat getting away with this one. Yoshi forced back. A Zingy very low. That skill picked up. Elements falls, making it 1-for-1. Virus explodes the front lines, but he does try to get away. Doesn't do it though. Chump John finds a second kill.
That's a 2-for-1 in the overall. And now they get to go ahead and siege up for AOE. It was a good engage by Necrophantation. But the fact that they didn't take advantage of the global ultis during the laning phase because they couldn't, because of the positioning of AoE and their rotations, then they didn't get anything for it. It's definitely just this lead is going to get bigger and bigger for AoE. Yeah. Because Necrophantation are the ones who keep engaging.
True.
They have to, though. Because AoE is just going to be knocking objectives down and poking. Can't just take the poke to the face.
No.
It doesn't work out.
You can't. I mean, it's good tenacity by NF, but unfortunately it's not really enough. There's actually a good outplay by FNRL as well. He basically dashed backwards right as the engage was coming in, so Rengar couldn't land everything on him, and he was outranged. The leap was already used. So that was actually a really nice little micro play by the Corki to get away from all that. Virus will be grabbing, looks like, red buff for his team. And at this point, I gotta kind of ask then, if the hard engage isn't really working, can you play Protect the Twitch and do enough with that? I mean, it's one-eyed Twitch, so he's not
saw
there
how quickly
yet.
he got blown up.
Sure, that's because he was diving a Corki who bursted him back. Like, I'm wondering, there's no real tank line, there's not a lot of other AoE to set him up. That's maybe not really even played.
Yeah, the CS...
With him this far behind? No.
No. The answer is definitely no. You can't do anything about it. So Necrophantation's in a very, very difficult spot here.
Yeah.
They are very aggressive, don't get me wrong. But they aren't forcing AoE onto their back foot.
No.
AoE got these tiny advantages and pushed them. Whether it was the level advantage, dragon advantage, and it just turned into gold, turned into more turrets. Now they have more pressure. So Yoshi's in the top lane. He has TP available. So AoE is going to try to make something happen with Chump John just by manually walking him there. So they might give up a turret for this. We have to see what they do with it.
Well, see, the ulti is right now coming back up. AoE, they seem to always group up by the time those cooldowns are back. It's like they've timed them completely. Said, okay, get back to 5 people, guys. We're going to start the siege again because you don't want to get picked off. So no opportunity at all for NF to go in for this one. Some poke on this outer tier 2 turret. Kojo taking a stun to the face. Good damage comes through. Pantheon ulti comes in. This is going to be another attempted engage. Teleport as well for Yoshi. He is stealthed up. Can he find anything? Doesn't find a whole heck of a lot, to be honest. Forced back on this fight. 0 for 0. AoE disengage.
And Evan RL does so much damage right now that as soon as you are within range of his phosphorus bomb, you're going to take a huge chunk of your life out of there. And the fact that if you were poked down at all by Wolf's Claw at all during that, it's going to kill you. It's going to push you entirely out of the fight. And now we have a little pause coming out here.
Yeah.
People are just getting themselves situated, figuring out what they're going to do.
I mean, in a game with the Wolf's Claw, Nidalee, and a Rengar, you got a lot of pause. It's just assumed in this one it's going to happen at some point. Don't worry, we'll get us.
I'm very worried. I'm extremely worried.
Why?
Not for myself, but for everybody else out there who had to hear that.
It was glorious. Come on, that was at least a 6.
You're giving yourself ratings.
Yeah,
You're not even allowing me.
I really am.
That's like giving your paper to the teacher and being like, that's an A. That's at least an A.
I mean, the power suggestion is very strong.
That's
you will
true.
continue to watch Challenger Series. But okay, so the strategic play by AoE is definitely very good. They group up by the time those cooldowns are back. When they're down, they're like, okay, great. Go to your lanes, do your bookkeeping, get your farm, grab the items. 5-man siege, once again. Play off the javelins, get ready to run away. And they're playing it right every single time.
Yeah, and the fact that not even a lot of poke is landed on Necrophantation before a fight starts, because Necrophantation actually does a really good job of starting it before they get poked down.
Yeah.
But as soon as they engage the fight, there's so much burst built into this composition and so much catch from area of effect that once you're in there, you're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I'm Elise Cocooned, I'm Binding, I'm Morgana ultied.
Yeah.
Very good team composition and basically forethought here by AoE coming into this matchup. I mean, the fact that they knew they could deal with the Rengar and put that confidence in Chump John, this guy is only Rengar, and they let it through.
Yeah.
And they outplayed it.
You know what's worth pointing out, though, is the Rengar's 2-1-2.
Yeah.
He's actually got the best score on his team right now, making things happen.
Yeah.
Also, like, I'm thinking about the comp as it plays out as well, because Necrophantation, I feel like their comp, it almost works. It's so close. I actually like the Lulu because even though there's no real tank, Pantheon and Rengar both being squishy, whoever does take damage and gets binded, gets stunned, whatever, gets a bunch of health back from Lulu, right? And should be able to, like, withstand some of this early burst, right? Especially if they one-shot one of those AD carries. It's like you can tank a Javelin, Corki's dead, deal with it. Problem is, as you've kind of pointed out as this one, is Chump John's gigantic.
Yeah.
He took the giant bottom wave at 4 minutes in when the push is stopped, TP'd top, and it's the carry.
So here's the thing, is both teams that have gotten an advantage in the early game were the ones that played the 2-turret push better.
Yeah.
They didn't kill the turret until it hit the tier 2 turret until it ended up killing a couple minions. And here we go. Continuing in.
Jump up from Pat as Zingy taking some big damage to the backside, though. Bind on Kojo gets rooted up as well, and there's the Javelin. Kill picked up as Zingy now forced to run away. One shot. Ooh, dodges the cube, but the Javelin he can't. Double kill there picked up by the Wolf's Claw's Javelins.
Pantheon had to take it like a man, turn around, and went straight through his heart.
Yep, walked right through it. Said, yeah, that's going to hit me. Go ahead.
You put yourself in that turret situation against that wall. You can really only dodge back and forth.
I actually like that he walked into it in the case that, because you knew he couldn't
would have
dodge.
done less.
Yeah, exactly. Deals less damage if you walk in forward towards the Javelin. If you will hit it, walk forwards. Same with taking a punch, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because if somebody's punching, they are like, I'll punch through you.
Yeah, you want to lean into that one. So here we go. Zingy taking a bit of damage there. Watch the replay.
Yeah, and now Kojo just gets knocked out. Yoshi did a good job of zoning Elements from the fight, but Elements, he had already used his ultimate by that point. So you got basically the exhaust out of there. Not too helpful. And I have to go back to the fact that they played the micro of the turret just better at level 1 and 2. Getting that tier 2 turret and letting it kill minions and letting that wave push towards yours is huge. The amount of experience that Chump John got from bottom combined with the top was enough to win him the lane, and he still has that 2-level advantage. 6, 0, and 3. He pushed that advantage. Not only did he just sit on it, he showed up to the fight. And that shut down anything that Necrophantation wanted to do in terms of roaming. Twisted Fate, Pantheon, Rengar, Twitch, you want to not group in a very telegraphed way. You want to group on a spot very quickly. And AOE did it first. They're saying, we're going to group, and we're going to make catches, and Binding lands.
Zingy is going to blow up. Elements gets a kill for that one.
Don't even need the cocoon at that point.
Hit thin air. Doesn't matter.
It's the 3-second Dark Bindings coming out here from the level 9 Morgana.
It's not even 3 seconds. He's actually
putting, he put 2.
I think he misclicked one in Tormented Soil, so it's rank 4 Binding. I feel like you have no reason to rank that skill more than once.
People typically put no points into it, aside from level 1. Right. Then you max it last.
Yeah.
Getting the vision of nothing.
Yeah. Okay. You want to make sure that it wasn't going to be any kind of a big ground attack. Nice teleport there. Gets over the wall. Well played, Kojo.
Yeah. Well, the jungler was down, so there was the chance that they were doing Baron. They started clearing it out with the pink ward. Now Zingy's actually back into the action.
He's going to try to World Slot. Gets away with the flash, though. Elements down the front lines. Big damage comes through, but the Morgana stays alive to land the stun on the 2. Ulti comes in. Elements does go down 1 for 0. Now can AOE disengage? Looks like not. It's a 1 for 1 so far. The flash in. Chump John finds another one. Stun in from Kojo. Great glitter lance as well.
Chump John just does too much. He teleports into the fight a little delayed, but it comes up big because of the position that he was in. And now they have a giant wave bottom, but they have a jungle to clear out too.
A whole lot for these guys to do. Looks like Evan and Co going to back off and heal back up, but if you can take the jungle away, feel free to do so. Bottom lane also pushing in, someone will have to take that gold.
Well, watch this. We see Yoshi try to get in there. Pantheon's going to come in, stun Evan RL, but he already used his Valkyrie to get out. That cannon minion had Chump John coming in it, and he goes straight in. He's exhausted. He doesn't care. Flash picks up Yoshi and then chases them down. Dragon is up now. He was up in about 20 seconds previously. And so they are right on time for getting back to it after backing and spending their gold.
It's a lot of good stuff for these guys. Really got to say now, you're up 10,000 in 22 minutes. It's a pretty large mark.
And here's the thing, too, is that Necrophantation, they beat Team 8, tournament favorites, in the drafting phase. Didn't happen with AOE. AOE has a really competent coach, who I assume Elements laid out all their picks and bans before the game. and made sure everybody was on the same page. I'm sure it was a very big team effort on what they want to ban out, and very conscious of it. When you have an analyst, when you have a coach, it does add to the team. If you have, like, I assume he's coaching the team even while playing and support. Yeah, that is my assumption, and I'm probably right about that. It seems like the type of person he would be. And it's working out for them. It's huge. Look at his score. He has the highest kill participation on his team. He shows up to everything. Nothing happens without Elements being a part of it, except for one kill.
Yeah. I guess you could say he's one of their elements of success.
Yes. I would say he is actually the prime element of success for them.
All right.
That and the fact that Chump John
is massive.
Yeah.
The opposite of a Chump right now, to be honest. But there comes the flash stun. Not going to land. Somebody he'll use to get him into range faster. We're going to get off of that one. Wolf's Claw, though. Big damage comes in. Rango, does he have enough? Has Fury once more time.
Oh, he lands it.
Lands the root. The heal comes in. There's TF. They find one. Can they get more picks? MNRL down to half HP. The stun in turret range, though. Kojo goes down. Overextended now, and Chump John gets the Ruin King use. Maria's gonna fall. Another 2-for-1.
The fact that Kojo had used both of his summoner spells at the start to try and close the distance means he didn't have them to get out of turret range, which would have helped him immensely. He would have dodged the cocoon with a flash. But now, AOE, after winning that fight, they're gonna start cracking the base.
Gonna look now for inhibitor turret number 1 in the mid lane. They got Spiderlings gonna take the turret shots, and they have just enough damage. 5 seconds till the respawns come in. No major engage ultimate except for the Pantheon is available. AOE, this is a bit risky to stay for. If they get 4v5,
oh,
they
here
could
comes
lose
Pantheon
health.
ultimate.
The root's gonna land there. Pantheon ultimate comes down. 4v5. Here comes the fight as he gets exhausted. Looks for the stun onto Pat. Big damage comes through. They find one back though. Chump John gets one so far. Elements goes in with Chump to look for Virus, the Corki. Doing damage from the back line. Virus, he does go down. Kill picked up on a Twitch. And the 4v5 fight, the flash stun lands go to the binding as well. He's going to be falling down. Red card not going to be enough there. The glitter lance from Maria gets one back though. That makes it a 3-for-1. Root on Elements, but here comes the Nidalee. Just disengage.
The combination of Dark Binding Cocoon is so much back-to-back CC that if you don't have Mercury Treads, you're dead. And even if you do, you're probably dead at this point.
Wow, so wonderfully played comp at this point. AOE so much in the gold lead, 1,400, that it will take a miracle for this game to go back NF's way. Quick recall from these guys to get their health back up. The fact they just won a 4v5, where they got engaged on. Sure, it was out some of the ultis available, but to win a 4v5 means you are way far ahead.
Yeah, the fact that Chump John is 9-0-6 on that Shyvana. He played that in the round of 20, but he went 5-2-5. So he's actually a big facilitator for his team. But all across the board, they just have really good teamwork. And their communication seems sharp.
Yeah.
And I bet you Elements is sitting there very happy. He's been waiting to get back into the scene for a very long time, because he's always been around since Season 1.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been very relevant since not being Coast's coach.
True. But, you know, he made his team. He wanted to go for this one. Wanted to be more as a player than a support figure. Ironically, still a support player. But yeah, this group of guys, right? It's his team. He's putting it together. And these guys are doing very nicely. We're going to see them most likely in the round of 8 in a couple of weeks. And now they're sweeping Baron to make sure they've got control of this game. Quick ward sweep here, and AOE own the vision game. Gonna start this one off. Element's got to be careful though. Virus is going to sneak up on top of him. Their nice black shield stops the slow, but he's going to take a lot of damage here. Expunge not enough. There comes Pantheon.
He missed the binding, but here's the Pantheon ultimate and the teleport. That Baron's really low though. You have to fight for it or they will kill it.
Baron smited up by NF. Now can they get enough? Zingy flashing the wall, but Chump John will chase. He's going to find the Pantheon and trade that one back. 1-for-0, but a Baron's Necrophantasia. Can they get away?
They have Super Minions coming down the mid lane right now. They do have Baron. A little bit more gold for them, but still a 12k gold lead, which means they're down a ton of combat stats at this point, something around 8k.
Yeah, so they are forced to defend actually up through the Dragon respawn most likely. Like, even with Baron buff, I still gotta say, as you said, about an 8,000 gold difference in real combat stat difference. Maybe we still the leaders here, even against Baron buff, so they will siege.
So good play by Zingy there. 0-8, he had to do something. He's not worth a lot of gold, so when he died, it wasn't a huge loss. But oh my, there's the Cocoon follow-up. But they used their CC and they have to disengage.
Yeah, worth pointing out now.
Yoshi, though.
They look for the engage. Wolf's Claw taking a bit of punishment there. Can he get any more out of this one? Pops the W. There's the engage as well from TF and Pantheon. There's the Morgana who's going to get traded back 1-for-1 so far. Now NF forced to run away. Can they get out? Chump John forced pretty low. Corki not going to get much more. Javelin nearly misses Zingy. And another disengage.
The positioning of Evan RL is something that people should actually strive for. He's always in the back. He's never up front. His Valkyrie is used as a defensive tool instead of an engage tool. And the fact that his team is peeling for him constantly, nobody's really touched him at all this game.
Very sense to play with this guy, I really gotta say. I'm a fan of it.
I like the combo.
Yeah.
The Evan RL elements.
Evan R elements.
Ah.
I mean, it's much longer than like Rush Hour or something, so I don't know if it's like
Evan R elements.
the term that'll stay.
It's still.
I think you just call it R elements. That's
R
you gotta get to like 3 syllables.
Okay.
Like Kiwi Pie, right? 3 syllables. Rush Hour, 2 or 3 syllables. I actually don't know if hour is a 1 or 2 syllable word. Because it could totally be either.
It depends. If you make it like a diphthong, it could be hour.
Yeah.
Or it could be
hour.
Hour.
Yeah.
Oh. Hour. Rush hour.
We're gonna move on.
Rush
Element starts up the dragon. Dragon, definitely 2 syllables.
Dargan.
No, still 2 syllables.
Still, I know.
Yep.
Dragon.
Chump. Okay. Well, Pat, the Wolves Claw, everyone else going to be taking this one down. Actually, Evan RL pushing the bottom lane just to get some extra farm and levels. Why the heck not? 3-item AD carry. Still waiting for the last one to be done for Virus, so that will be an important pickup if you can make it that far into the game. Got some time to go, though, potentially, if this push does not close it out. I do got to point out, actually, NF, they're defending a lot better than they were at the start of this game.
Yeah, they have that inhibitor backup for themselves. They have their pick composition. He's going to show up on top of him. There he is!
They go pass on the wrong side. Actually, a split up fight right there. Yoshi goes in by himself. He's the only guy there. Now as Zingy joins, but they're still on the wrong side of this fight. They went for other people. Kojo going to get stunned up. Can't TP away. This was not the fight they wanted. 3-for-0 battle. Maria forced to run away as well, but gets caught up by Pat there. The battle of the first names. The Flash not going to get over the wall. Nice Cocoon's going to land Javelin. Maybe a little bit too far forward, but no really place for Lulu to go. Going to keep herself alive a bit longer, try to buy some time, but surely going to fall.
The spider! Scooter!
I can't imagine if this champion lives. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go.
Woo. Jumps inside her hat. She's still alive.
All right, but there we go. Only Twitch alive in the base. The Flash Cocoon lands.
Yep.
Virus going to be going down. Let's see, they didn't even need the vaccine for that one. Now goes turret number 1. Turret number 2 in front of the Nexus. I don't think they can 2v5 this battle. Nexus laid open at 30 minutes into the game. An area of effect will join us in the round of 8.
An area of effect have shown their prowess all across the board. 11, 0, 11 in the top lane. And then we also saw elements 2, 4, and 21 in, I think, a 24 kill game. 25, 26 kill? Something along those lines for him. But
Did great regardless.
Yeah, it was a 26 kill game. So he was involved in the majority of the kills, highest kill participation on his team, coming up big in terms of strategy, too, all across the board for the team.
Yeah.
Like Chump John, that tiny advantage that they made from the laning phase and the way they played that 2-turret push was what really came up big and allowed him to play against Yoshi. Look at the level difference. Well, they can't say it, but it's 17 for Chump John at the end of the game, and Yoshi having a 13.
Yeah.
4 level difference there between the top laners. That is huge. And that split call at the end was really
definitely
the nail in the coffin there.
Yeah.
And you saw that Necrophantasia is just not on the same page. 2 of them went middle, 3 of them went off to the right, and they didn't even kill Pat.
Yeah. It was really, really nice. You had a split call where Virus thought he had the catch over onto the Elise, and you'd already sent everyone else the other way. It was very unfortunate for those guys. Necrophantasia, of course, we can see them in Summer Series 2. Hit the ranked ladder again, make sure they're in the top 20. They can try again in a couple of about a month or so. But area of effect definitely looked good. The calls were smart. I was wrong to say that the top lane forcing TP was incorrect because they played off of that. Once Shyvana had the level lead, once she was pushed up past that tier 2 turret, they went to invade the top side jungle. That was the play, and they snowballed off that.
Yeah.
TF wasted his first teleport trying to show and was in a bad fight.
Yep. And the fact that they didn't allow the Grand Skyfall, Fate, Destiny to allow themselves to get to a snowbally early game was really big.
Yeah.
Because that was what this composition was all about, was can we pick somebody off before they group? But the fact that there was a 2-level advantage in the top lane there, we had to deal with this. Then they tried to, didn't work out for them. They invaded the jungle, and then they're like, we're already grouped. You guys can't pick us off when we're like that. And they had some good team fights for Necrophantasia, but AOE just always came out on top. I don't think there was a single fight where they ended up with a negative.
Yeah, by the end of it all, they had gotten more kills than their opponents.
Yeah.
So Obviously, great play by AOE. We will be seeing them in a couple of weeks or so, 2 to 3. But guys, we do have to take a quick break for 3.5 minutes, but when we return, it's time for our third elimination game of the day when Team Green Forest takes on No Dice Gaming. Don't touch that keyboard. We'll be right back. Looks pretty good for this one. TF only comes in.
Bait.
All right, there's the repel, but there's the flash engage. Oh! They find it, and Temp Turret goes down. Yoshi will join the fight. Big Burst comes in. Down goes 2. The engage comes in. Gigantic Morgana ulti. Might this one around 2 for 2 so far. Shyvana going big.
That Baron's really low, though. You have to fight for it, or they will kill it.
Baron smited up by NF. Now, can they get enough? A Zingy flashing the wall.